Was working long path here at this spot right through to about 10:30, so it's a possibility it could be open. I've just decided to start videoing so you can see that I'm on the 5 watts here. I've turned the amp off. Sadly, I don't think you can see the switch on the amp, but you can see the light's not on. So yeah, it's I'm quite chuffed. It's working really well. New Zealand on 5 watts. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go hunting. I'll go hunting for you on long path. But to start with, I think you probably should go back to the higher power to start with, and then we'll drop it down. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just switch it to high power now. Right. So I'm on 80 watts there now. So that's so I'll video this so you can see it, and you can see the backpack kit that I'm using. It's a real Heath Robins affair. It's lashed together. The idea was that I was going to temporarily use it to see how well it worked and then modify it so it was a lot tidier. But the lot tidier never happened. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, that's good, mate, yeah. Okay, I'm just turning now, 354. So I'm just going to be talking as I'm turning. 321. 282. 208. It's quite quick actually, 258. We're just not far away now. 240. 231. 225.
If that's long path, I don't know whether you're copying me, but you've dropped right down with me. Back to you. Yeah, you've almost disappeared with me, John. Not sure if you're copying this, but you've really gone. Long path's gone, I think. Well, that's interesting to know, actually, that the long path is closed. The guy I was talking to in Tasmania, he was on a vertical antenna, so really we didn't know whether it was short or long path. But where the location I'm at now, and as you'll be able to see on the video, is right next to the sea. So the short path for me is straight over land, and through there's a big building in my way for the short path. So I'm still chuffed that it's working a short path. Back to you.
Yeah. No, I just faintly hear you on long path. I'm back on short path now. Actually, it's a little bit past. It's a little bit past short path. It's more until we're getting into the polar path. Oh well, that's okay, mate. No, it's not. It's not open for me, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, we tried, and that's the main thing. I appreciate you trying, John. I really do. It gives me an idea of what's happening with the band. Anyway, obviously with the omnidirectional, we don't have really much choice where it goes or who hears it, but it gives me an idea of how the band's performing. Back to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, are you very near the sea? How far from the sea are you?
Well, I don't know whether you can hear it. I've got the mic keyed. You should be able to hear it crashing against the sea wall. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And have you got a counterpoise into the sand?
Well, no, I'm up on the sea wall here, and I'm using well, it's an MFJ artificial ground, and you'll be able to see on the video. And what I'm using the ground for, the small frame of the backpack, I'm using that as my earth, my ground. So I've got quite a significant ground current going through into the frame at the moment, and it helps bring the antenna to resonance, and also gives me an RF earth that I wouldn't normally have. Back to you.
Yeah. No, I'd love you to try just a simple 3.5mm or 6mm bit of copper onto a stake, chuck it in the tide, or bang it in the sand, just to see if it lift the copy. It'd be very interesting. Okay.
In fact, actually, that's something worth investigating. It's never something I've really considered because this seems to work, but the sea's very close to me, and it would be very easy for me to drop a line into it. I'm quite high from it, but I could certainly go down by the beach and drop a line in. Not today, but I think I'll give that a go and see if there's any benefit to dropping a line into the sea. Back to you.
Yeah. There's no steel handrails there by any chance you can hook onto.
Well, they probably were steel originally, but But I imagine it's just underneath the paint. I would imagine it's just corroded to death. The atmosphere here, obviously saline, and the weather we get, it crucifies the metal. So they've just painted them. So that's why I'm not leaning against them. I would normally have the backpack kit on and lean against the rails, and you know, just so it's backpack. So the backpack's off my back at the moment. It's on the ground. So I suppose I'm not pedestrian mobile, but it's all the backpack kit. Back to you.
Oh yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah. No, excellent. Really good actually. Yeah. So the seawall itself is a physical wall, right? Is it whatever a metre tall off the sidewalk there, is it?
Well, there's a wall. In fact, I'll pan around whilst I'm talking to you, and I'll send you a link to the YouTube video so you get an idea of where I am. There's sandhills behind me. There's obviously the town's behind me, and this rather large metal building. And we've got the council invested many millions of pounds in modernising the seawall and the walk. So I'm at a rest area, if you will, right at the end of the seawall, and I'm overlooking the sea defences, if you will. And I don't know what height I am above the sea. Probably 20 feet. No, maybe not 20 feet. Maybe about 18 feet, 15 to 18 feet above the sea as it stands. And so that's about where I am. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So is the sea crashing in there, or is it pretty calm?
Well, it's a bit mill pond like for our sea, but you can hear the noise as it crashes against the sea defences. The tide's turned actually, and it's on its way out. We've had high tide. It's usually in for about an hour, and it's on its way out now. So yeah, there's just the little breakers at the edge of the sea where it meets the land, of course, and it just crashes against the sea defences. Not too loud though. It's like I say, it's a bit of a mill pond today, which is nice. It's lovely here. Back to you.
Okay, yeah. So would it be possible to launch a small rubber tyre with a line attached to it?
Yeah, I suppose I could. Yeah, but I can walk down onto the beach where I am. I only come to this high vantage point because I stay dry. I don't get my feet wet. I don't get sand in my shoes, and yeah, there's a seat as well if I fancy sitting down. So, but it's a good location, very good location. This for DX. The long path, when the long path is good, is exceptional. My friend who was here the last few days when he was working long path, he was plus 20 dB into Australia and New Zealand. That's just how good it really is here. Yeah, quite phenomenal. Back to you.
Yeah. Well, you're about a 5 at the moment, strength 5. You know, I was just trying to think of another antenna on a floating tyre that you could push it out into the sea about 25 metres with a small copper counterpoint with a weight on it, and a small corner wave, and a little wooden deck on top of the tyre so it doesn't capsize. You know, you have it connected by a bit of shitty old coax, some RG59 or whatever, and just launch it and use that as your, because as you know, the sea itself is a massive ground plate. It's about the best you can get actually. Yeah, well, there's lots of things you can do in the future, mate. You can try all sorts of stuff. It's a great pastime to see what you can do over.
That's it. Yeah, so dependent on the weather though. We're having fantastic weather in the UK at the moment, but it's not always like this. So bring on the summer with the rain. That's what we usually get when the kids break up for school. It usually starts to rain, but there we go. Anyway, John, I'm not going to hold it any longer. I'm going to retire here. I've been up since, well, I've been on the air since 4:30 this morning, and it's getting quite late. It's probably about 10 o'clock or something like that, maybe even later. I'm going to go home, get something to eat, get some breakfast, and just make sure my son's got the dog up.